Hey all you cool cats and kittens, my name is Nick Price and welcome to the very first and very last episode of my podcast, The Price is Right. So today what I'm going to be talking about is kind of a little bit of background about me and why I'm doing this single podcast to tell the world about how important it is to choose the right doctor and to get multiple opinions when talking to doctors. So first off, again, my name is Nick Price. I'm 20 years old from Charleston, South Carolina. January 29th of 2015, I was actually diagnosed with a deadly brain cancer that was growing in the pons area of my brain. After searching what seemed like almost the entire world, every doctor would tell us that it was inoperable, it was untouchable. Whatever we're going to do, it's just going to make things worse. It's not going to make life enjoyable. We can't even scratch the surface. But we didn't really give up and we didn't take no for an answer. Finally, after more and more research, we came across Barrow Neurological in Phoenix, Arizona. And the surgeons there were like, yeah, we can get that tumor out. And we were like dumbfounded. Like, it was like, this is way too good to be true. This is like an infomercial. We ended up flying out to Phoenix, Arizona just to sit down with this doctor because my mom promised that he had confidence, not cockiness, in his voice. So we did end up sitting down with him, and I saw the same thing in him. He was confident, and the thing that he taught me, which is primarily what this single podcast is about, is, and the metaphor he gave me, he is like, you cannot take a Ferrari to a Ford shop and expect the same results. He put it in simple terms for me, telling me that I can't go to anywhere I want. I can't go to a brain surgeon that hasn't done brainstem tumors like where I have been. Like, you can take a Ferrari to a Ford shop, and yes, it's probably going to get fixed, but is it going to be perfect? Probably not. And it's not the same case as cars, as where if something's not fixed, then you just go back in the shop and then you can get it fixed and try again. In this situation, it was life or death. So I needed to make sure that I was at the Ferrari shop. And he was basically telling me, without telling me, that he's the Ferrari shop. He was telling me that he was the best at what he does. He does thousands of specifically brainstem tumors every single year. I was able to have 2 successful surgeries that completely removed the cancer out of my body. And after that, I started a 501c3 foundation to then help more people battle this rare form of brain cancer and other forms of cancer as well. And one issue that I see almost every day in this organization, and it's really sad, is how much people trust local doctors. Doctors are everyday people just like us, going to the job, and they have a drive behind their life, but at the end of the day, they're making themselves happy and they want to go home and eat supper just like the rest of us. But what a lot of people don't realize is that these doctors they don't learn everything. That's impossible. They all have specialties like in any other profession. So when you hear of, brain surgeons at MUSC Health Hospital, which is our local hospital, a lot of people are quick to jump into, oh my gosh, we need to go to him and we need to act immediately. And then I've heard so many unsuccessful stories of people going into a really rare spot to go in and just getting messed up, probably more than what the cancer would have done by itself over time. And the point that I am stressing is just to get multiple opinions. Sit down with many doctors. Don't take the word of just the first person you go to, because they can be wrong, and not everybody is a true specialist, even if they would like to be. Just in my case, I had a total number of 47 doctors tell me that this brain cancer was inoperable, don't touch it, I will be dead in 5 years, and just enjoy the rest of the life that I had. There was one doctor that told me, yeah, I can get it out. So if that, and he did, to wrap that up. And to kind of stress what I'm trying to say here is, you need to see multiple people, and you need to make sure you sit down with them in person, because being in person with them shows a lot about how much they know what they're talking about. And if they can give you specifics right off the top of their head, that's a great indicator. Because over email and it's rehearsed, it can be revised, it can be researched, but if somebody knows it 100% off the top of their head, you know that that's the one you want to go with, and preferably somebody who thinks that you're going to have a positive outcome and can supplement that with good information. So yeah, that's going to be a short podcast on how to pick a right doctor. I know it seems pretty simple and self-explanatory, but I've been in the shoes of some of these families sometimes. I know it can be kind of a trigger finger to jump onto the first doctor you see because it is a race against the clock with some of these cancers, but it really strips you, like this fear strips away all of your common sense. And if you're thinking about it and you're hearing this podcast, some of you may say like, "Oh yeah, of course." But sometimes that common sense can be completely stripped away from you, and you just want to act as quick as you can. But sometimes it is better to take a little bit more time and a little bit more risk to make sure you have the specialized doctor that you need to have a successful story. Well, thank you guys for listening. This is Nick Price again with my wrapping up my last episode and also my first of The Price is Right. I will see y'all never.